live on YouTube right now.
Whoa!
Live on the YouTube.
No, we're live on everything.
We're live on everything. We're live on everything.
Hi, everybody.
We're live. We're live. We're live.
How are you guys
We're going
doing?
to talk about some good stuff today.
All right, so you guys know the
Good
drill.
stuff
Mortgages,
today.
interest rates, real estate.
Pull up the rates because
All that
I'm
stuff.
actually fascinated with this right now.
Those are the questions that you guys need to be asking.
What do we got on the rates today? Let's figure out what the rates are doing today because there's some uncertainty in the market again. And the uncertainty in the market could mean that rates are going to go up a little bit again. Okay, why? Uh-oh, why? No audio. No audio. Thank you. Thank you. We're on it. One. We're working on it. Oh, shit. I'm going.
Dude, you're going to get canceled for sure.
I'm working on it. Oh, shit. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you. We got to launch 4 mics when we do this. Sorry. Okay, cool.
One bar. Thank you, man.
Can you hear us now?
Rosario,
Can
how
you
you
hear
doing?
us now? There we go.
That's Lee Duran.
Go after him.
Do your things.
Oh God, you got to hear something. You got to hear something hilarious.
Rosario.
So I don't usually watch a lot of the news because social's faster than the news. But I watch the news because in California, there's an amazing amount of rainfall in Southern California right now. Amazing, ridiculous, like most in 100 years. And I hadn't seen this on the news, but I was like, this cannot be real. This has to be an SNL skit. So the mayor would come out, the mayor of Los Angeles, and she starts speaking, and then there's this lady right next to her, like mocking her, but she's not mocking her, she's signing. But she's signing with so much emotion that it looks like an SNL skit. She's out there going like this, she's going. And I'm like, this can't be real. There's no way this is real. And sure enough, it's real. And I'm like, oh my, what is going on? This is what's happening. Anyway, back to mortgage rates.
Oh my, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
These are your thoughts? These are the words that are popping.
Oh my God.
Oh my.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Jolly gee
Oh my God.
willikers.
No, slap on the face. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, I was watching them, and there's a signer, and I've seen him on SNL, but I haven't watched news in a long time because news is old nowadays. You can get it fast if you got the right things, and I try and keep up with the market, so it's like fast. But when those signers came on, I was like, oh my God, this is embarrassing.
What if they're saying something entirely different?
I don't know.
They're like, this
That's
guy's a joke.
I have heard
Why
that.
is he even talking?
Yeah, I've
Let's
heard
vote him
that.
out.
I have heard that it gets caught out every once in a while. That there's a fake signer, and I get it now. The SNL skits, because I watch SNL occasionally. It's good. Anyway, so the Fed came out on Monday, and Fed said, hey, listen, something just happened.
Check your screen. Fed said. So when they came out on Monday, Fed said, that's where you stopped?
Keep going.
So the Fed,
That's weird.
if you guys don't know, is not part of the United States. Did you guys know that? Our Federal Reserve is not a department of the country. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that it's privately owned? Did you know that the organization that handles our monetary system is not part of America? It's just a corporation inside of America, like Honda, like Toyota. I don't know if Honda's in America, but Toyota, Walmart, these are all corporations independently ran by people, and so is the Federal Reserve. So when you hear Lee talk about the Fed, this is what we're talking about, the Federal Reserve.
So anyway, the Federal Reserve came out, and they said, hey, listen, we're not so happy with the economic indicators. Now remember that the mortgage, it all boils down to houses. How do houses get there? So mortgage rates follow the 10-year yield. The 10-year yield.
Megatron.
Love that name. So they follow the 10-year yield. The 10-year yield, then we add usually 100 to 150 basis points off the 10-year yield in order to get today's mortgage rates, which, by the way, today's mortgage rates 5.375 on a 15-year fixed, which is up from last week. It was 5.25, and FHA 5.625 on a 30-year fixed, which is up from 5.5. Now, the reason it went up, people are thinking, oh my God, the stock market's responding and blah, 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 blah. There's what happened is that when there's certainty in the market and we're sure everything's going down, the spread drops. So the spread between the 10-year yield and the mortgage rates are usually about 100 to 150 basis points. When it's very uncertain, like 3 months ago, there was a 2.5 point spread. And the reason the spread is so big is because the banks have to make their money. The banks have to make their money, and they make a lot of money. A lot of money. A lot of money. Guess how much money the banks make on a $500,000 house over 30 years? What do you think? What do you think, Chris?
1.5, 1.3.
About 1.3. So 1.3 million is their profit. They lent you $500,000, and by the end of 30 years, they make 1.3 million. So that's how the banks get so big. And do you think they're doing it off of their money?
No.
No, they're not doing it off their
Do
money.
banks have money?
They don't even have. They have a little tiny amount.
They have our money.
And that's called the M3. The M3 is the amount that the banks have to keep on reserve forever, whatever they lent out. And there's actually a gigantic system in the background where banks lend each other money at the end of the night. And they lend each other a bunch of money that happens
Like,
wired
hey, man,
all
I'm
over.
short 10.
Yeah, like
He
that.
needs-
Yep.
I need that.
That happens every night, every night, every
Boom.
night. And that's the minimum reserve requirement. So they audit their books and they go, hey, listen, you rent out $200 million today. You need to have $2 million in cash in the safe. I know that sounds wrong, right? 200. And so they're like, hey, we don't have 2 million. We have 1,900,000. We got to borrow 100 grand fast. So there's a system that actually lends them the 100 grand real fast. So they go, hey, look, we're fine. We meet the requirements. It happens every night, every night, every night, every night. Something that most people don't even know what's going on.
Delma, we'll get you an answer here shortly.
Okay. So all this stuff is going on right now. And how does that affect the borrower or the buyer today? Well, interest rates are supposed to go down. The Fed has said, hey, listen, we are confident that we've reached the peak of the cycle, which means we've gone up as high as we're going to go. And so you know the Fed funds rate right now is 5.5 and 5.25. So they've reached the peak, but they are committed to the pause because they want to get inflation down to 2%. What? 2%. So in order to do that, they will hold this as long as they have to. As long as they want to.
Want to?
Yeah. Need to? I don't know.
Need to? Yeah, that's a strange
It's a big, well, there's not just one guy. There's a bunch of really smart guys on the Federal Reserve Board, and they're monitoring a whole bunch of stuff. Now, the public, remember, clickbait runs the internet. So if, hey, rates are going to tank. Oh, the market's going to crash. Rates are going to skyrocket. Oh, the housing market's going to fall apart.
gloom.
That's how they clickbait you. They get you in like that. But it's not that simple, and it's not that manic. I think that's the right word, manic. So it doesn't go boom and then boom and then boom and then boom. It's kind of a, like we knew,
Moves and they're like, ah!
we knew a year ahead of time that rates were going to go up. We knew they were.
This ear is
We
ringing. What does that
knew.
mean?
Uh-uh.
One of these people talking about me?
Maybe. So Megatron, love the name, Megatron.
Yeah,
thank you
for
very
sharing.
much.
Cassandra,
What's
thank
required
you.
for down payment assistant clients?
Right.
So Delma, down payment assistance clients, real simple. We get them qualified first, usually FHA, and FHA requires 3.5% down, and then we take one of the down payment assistance programs and we plug them in. So, like for instance, the biggest one in California is CalHAFA. A lot of people use CalHAFA. So we take an FHA loan, we make sure they're qualified FHA, and then we just plug in CalHAFA on it, and that covers the down payment. It's
Boom.
fairly simple. It's fairly simple.
Boom. 620 credit score.
Yeah, 620 credit score. CalHAFA's not the only one. Name them off the top of your head. What do you come up with?
CalHAFA, Shadab, Platinum, Sapphire. We have some really badass in-houses that you guys are going to love to hear.
Don't forget Shinoa.
There's that one.
Shinoa.
They're all over the
Open
nation,
Door.
guys. Open Door. There's so many
Yeah,
of them.
there's a bunch of programs. There's a bunch of programs out there. But all of the programs, all of the zero down programs, all of the zero down programs ride on chassis, FHA chassis or conventional FHA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac chassis. So all of them ride on a chassis. So we have to get you qualified on the FHA program or Fannie Mae program or Freddie Mac program. Now, most of the down payment assistance programs, they don't care which one you have. You just got to meet their requirements. And if you meet the requirements, you can do it on conventional. You could even do it on VA on many of them. VA. They're like, wait, VA zero down. Yeah, but there's closing costs. And because there's closing costs, these things exist. Now, they're not free. They're not free. Did I say that right? Mm-hmm. They're not free. There's a catch. There's a catch to all of them.
Gratis.
There's no free lunch.
Gratis.
Even if people are telling you, hey, this down payment assistance program is absolutely amazing. Think of used car salesmen. That's kind of what's going on. Used car salesman is going, hey, think about this down payment assistance program. It's absolutely amazing. Well, they have catches. And whenever I talk to somebody, I say, listen, the CalHAFA down payment assistance program. Okay, so CalHAFA, do you get to try and get your rate down? Do you?
Sometimes you can do buy down.
On a CalHAFA? Mm-hmm. So you go to the CalHAFA pricing, and the CalHAFA pricing is going to be this, X. And that's what your pricing is going to be.
Remember exactly where you're at.
Okay, go.
Guys, if you guys are interested in getting involved in the mortgage, you want to get pre-qualified, go to the link above if you're on one of the platforms. Mm-hmm. If not, screenshot us. Phone number's right here. Text us the platform that you're on, and we'll get back to you as soon as we're done with the meeting. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So some of them are silent seconds, meaning that they're in the second, they're in the background. You don't have to pay on them until you refinance or sell. If you refinance or sell, you got to pay them. Like the big one right now is the Dream for All. Dream for All sounds amazing. It does. It sounds amazing. When you look at the commercials, oh my God, it's like, hey, California's going to get you 20% of your purchase price. Wait, what? No, that can't be right. 20%. 20%. That can't be right. 20%. Yeah, but when you read the guidelines, you're like, okay, cool. So you're buying a $500,000 house. They're going to get you $100,000. Now, when you dig in deeper, you're like, hey, thank you, State of California. State of California's like, yeah, don't worry about it. We're in business together now. What do you mean we're in business together? Oh, that $100,000? I want it back. You want it back? Yeah, I want it back. I want it back. And I want it back with interest. With interest? Never mind, scratch interest. I like appreciation. In California, we appreciate about 8% a year. I want part of that. Screw interest. I want appreciation. So we're partners together. But you get a house. Oh, and by the way, I'm first out. If only one of us gets paid, I get paid. So that's the CalHAFA Dream for All. Now, is it horrible? No, if it means the difference of you didn't own a home before and now you own a home and you entered that realm by using it, absolutely, we'll use it.
Realm.
Yeah. Wow. But you need to know all the pieces of it in order to make it cool. What are the HFA requirements for Texas residents? Go ahead.
So it's going to be the same pretty much across the nation for down payment assistance, okay? Mm-hmm. So I told you 620 a minute ago, a 620 credit score. That is for our in-house program. No other bank has this. It's a very special one to us. I think more people are going to start using this. That being said, most of the programs you need to have a 660 or better. Our in-house is 620, but to unlock all the programs across the nation, you need a 660 or better credit score. Does your mortgage payment go up if you refinance? Asked Cassandra.
You answer that.
So here's the answer, Cassandra. It depends on the type of refinance that you're doing, and it depends on what the rates are. So let's just pretend for a second that you have an 8% and rates today are at a 5. So if you did that refinance and didn't take any money out, yes, your payment should change and it should be lower. That being said, a ton of people right now are accessing the equity in their home. So if you bought the house for $400,000 and now it's worth $700,000 and you paid your loan down to $350,000, but you took $200,000 out in cash, which you could do, your payment would go up. So it depends on your goal, but for the most part, most people are trying to drop that payment, and that's normally what happens, but it's specific to your file. Delma, you're welcome. Brick House Dad, love that. If you can't afford closing costs, you
Brick
probably
House
can't
Dad.
afford a home.
Love that.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
I think you're talking about two things: the ability to pay and the ability to save. Very difficult in these times. Very difficult with the price of gas and food and milk and all that to save money. But you're probably making your rent payment every single month, no problem. You might not have a lot of money left over at the end of the month, but if you have the ability to pay monthly, then you probably can't afford a house. You just don't have the money to save. And there's programs that will help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
Cassandra, is there a difference between a streamline and a refinance?
Big difference. Big difference. One starts with an S and one starts with an R.
See this guy?
Streamline,
What kind of
refinance.
answer you guys
Streamline,
want?
refinance.
He's a jerk.
Streamline, refinance. Streamline is only on FHA. Only on FHA. And it's a low version of a refinance. Streamline is only if your payment goes down, you get a better rate, and the overall situation is better for you. If all those factors happen in your scenario, then you can streamline.
Wow.
But if you had a 3% and you're trying to streamline at 5, it's not happening. It has to be better for the client. So streamline is a skinny refinance. It's a real thin one. We don't even care what your credit score is. We just care. We do a mortgage rating, make sure that you've paid your bills on time, made your mortgage on payment on time. That's it. And then we can streamline. Streamlines are going to be great. They're going to be great. In about 2 years, we're going to have a ton of streamlines. Why? Because people bought FHA loans at 8%. And they're like, hey, I heard the rates are at 5%. Yes. How do I streamline? Simple. Say you want to, I'll do a mortgage rating. I don't even have to put your credit score in there. And I can streamline refinance you right now. Streamlines are great, but only in a descending market. And we haven't descended enough for most borrowers. The only ones who would really benefit from a streamline right now is somebody who bought an FHA loan at 8, and they would benefit right now. But I would also tell that person, hey, listen, think about this, because there's still a cost, and you restart your clock at 30 years. So if we know rates are going down, if you don't have to refinance right now, maybe you should wait a little bit. Maybe. Okay,
I
cool.
live in New York. Do you have anyone to recommend to me? Ask user 3013.
I'm going to recommend him.
Boom.
I'm going to recommend him. Hey, user
Phone number's right here.
3013. About a week ago, we were not licensed in New York. About 4 or 5 days ago, the bank got licensed in New York. The bank did, which means we're able to do things. Yeah. So we can help you in New York. There's a lot of new things too.
730, man.
730 FICO score.
Good
Great.
stuff,
Good
Rosario.
stuff. Yeah.
Isn't FHA loans for more affordability, yet PMI is a must? Ask user 6213. I wouldn't say more affordability.
Yeah, I wouldn't say more affordability. It depends on your FICO score, because if you have a great FICO, then your MI is going to be low. If you have not a great FICO, like let's say you have a 620 FICO score and you have to buy MI. Well, the MI is going to be high because your FICO score is not great. So you might break 0.55, in which case you're better off with an FHA. But if you have an 800 FICO score, your MI might be 0.30, which is not the same as 0.55, and you're better off with a conventional in that situation. So there's a lot of factors that go into it.
El Oso. How do first-time homebuyer grants work?
Grants are cute. There's always a catch to a grant. There's a catch to the grant. So, like for instance, I'll give you one that we use a lot, used to use a lot. We don't use it so much anymore. Platinum. Platinum is a grant. Platinum says, hey, listen, we'll give you a grant for your down payment. And you're like, that's amazing. Thank you for that $10,000. I appreciate it. Yeah, no worries. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, your interest rate is 2 points higher than the rest of the market. Wait a minute, I don't want that. Yeah, you do if you want the grant. But I don't want that. And then you're like, hey, you know what? Twist my mustache. I'll refinance in 6 months. Oh yeah, by the way, if you refinance in 6 months, we want all the money back. So this is not really a grant. I'm actually paying for my $10,000 just monthly. Well, you can call it whatever you want. We're calling it a grant. So that's how the Platinum works. The Platinum does work that way. Is it bad? Not necessarily. Sometimes it's a good situation. Sometimes not.
Okay. Danny, thoughts on 100% financing with good credit? Well, that's what down payment assistance in theory is. You are borrowing 100% of the money. So if you get a grant, if you get a second loan, okay, what happens is that down payment, call it $10,000, okay, is another loan set aside. So if, like what he said, if you refinance or sell your house inside of the window, that grant has to get paid back. Or if it's not a grant, it has to get paid back. So it's basically 100% financing. So that being said, I would say probably a third of buyers are chasing down payment assistance right now.
Yeah.
And if they're getting in, a third of our buyers are using 100% financing. So if it's the method for which you need to get into a home, it's cool. If you don't have to do it, like Lee says, you probably won't, because there are things that go against you when you use one of these programs, because there's no such thing as free lunch, right?
And all loans are based off of risk. The more money you put down, the less risk to the bank. The less money you put down, the more risk. So all loans are based off of risk. It's not really that complicated. It's complicated in the technicalities, but real simple: FICO score, income, and assets. That's it. Once those three, if all three of those are high, you get the best loan out there.
There you go. And then remember, guys, phone number's here. So if you want to text us, if you're interested, text us right now that you're interested in buying. Text us the platform that you're on, or go to the link on TikTok, click the link, and apply now.
And Instagram too.
And Instagram.
And Facebook.
All
and
of them have
YouTube.
It. YouTube. They all have it.
We all have it. They all have it.
I call this TikTok.
All right, cool.
Violetta, what is needed if you're separated but buying in a non-community property state? Violetta, know your rules. I love it.
Go.
Okay, so they're going to have to sign off on the house because you're still legally married. If you are...
Amicable?
No. If you have a legal separation, we can also move forward with that. If you're fully divorced, we can move forward with that. But if you're still legally married, they're going to have to sign off on it. And no, we don't have to include their debts. We don't have to put them on the loan. We don't have to pull their credit. But they will have to sign off on the home saying that it's yours and not theirs. So if they're willing on doing that, let's move forward. Isn't FHA loan... No, we already answered that one. Edgar. Damn, this thing jumped on me again, dude.
Know.
So many questions.
Thank you all for following us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We're here to help you get a house in 2024.
Edgar Arroyo, what kind of background would deny a realtor license?
But we're not in real estate business, so it's hard for us to say that.
We're not in real estate?
We're in
What
loans.
do I finance then?
We're in loans.
Do I finance Yetis?
Yetis? Those are kind of a big deal.
They're really expensive and stupid.
The NMLS license, which is the lender's license, it's real strict. They don't let anybody with any kind of issues in, but real estate is a little bit more lenient. They'll let a lot of people in. I know a lot of.
We can tell you a lot about the NMLS.
We can tell you a lot about
which is
the
what we have. If you went to jail, prison, have a felony, anything like that, you're not getting a license.
Yeah, you're not
guys.
getting a license. Yeah.
This is especially what happened with the crash in 2008.
Yeah.
Everything's much more tighter, and they actually have eyes on everyone.
And I know a lot of realtors who've been to jail, and
Yeah.
most realtors have.
Here's what I'm gonna say, Edgar. Give it hell. Try to give it hell.
Yeah.
Fight it. Pass that test. Let's see what happens, and let us
doubt.
know.
No doubt,
We're
man.
with you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Danny, thanks for skipping my question, guys.
What was Danny?
Oh, Danny.
Danny, go back to
Danny.
Danny. Go back to Danny. Go Danny. Go
Thoughts
ahead.
on 100% financing that we did answer?
We did answer that,
Gotta have
Danny.
patience,
Danny,
guys.
Danny,
We get to
Danny,
your questions.
Danny. Yes, we want to answer you. We want to answer you.
Roy
What
Todd,
answer?
Wally App. Thank you guys for the help.
Thank you for following us. Appreciate it.
Cruz. How does down payment assistance work, and would a realtor lender apply, or the buyer? Good question. You're brand new to this. Love it. Want to answer it?
How does down payment assistance work? Okay, cool. So when you get down payment assistance, first you get qualified for a loan, an FHA loan, Fannie Mae, or Freddie Mac. After you're qualified for the loan, we plug you into a program. The programs have different requirements. Some of them are 640 FICO. Some of them are 660 FICO. We got one recently that's a 620 FICO. And then you have to meet the requirements of the down payment assistance program. Like, for instance, if you went to Cal HAFA, you have to have 660 FICO and a certain DTI, and then we just plug you in. They give you your rate, and then we go forward.
And
Pretty
your
simple.
agent has nothing to do with it.
Nothing.
It has everything to do on the
Yeah.
loan side, okay? and you don't do anything. All you got to do is go to the link on any one of the platforms, click apply now, or text that phone number, and we can get you started.
Yep.
SGV Local Guy, we make no down payments. We have no down payments saved. Make $160,000 a year combined. $6,000 in debt. Credit score 760 plus.
You're ready to go right now.
Absolutely.
You are
No
ready
caps.
to go. Yeah, you're ready to go.
No cap, bro.
No cap.
Molina 81. Is it smart to use my home's equity to start a business like apartments or rentals, etc.?
You take that.
I will. Okay, here's the deal, guy. You're becoming a businessman. You're taking risk. So understand that.
Molina 81's a guy?
Could be a girl.
Could we go?
Could be a chick. Who knows?
Yeah, could be a chick.
That being said, he or she, yeah, you're taking a risk. You're a business person. You're going to have to stick your neck out a little bit. If it has to be out of your home's equity, if that's the only route you can go, you deem it appropriate, then yeah, let's move forward. If you deem it inappropriate, then no, do not move forward. But know this. If you're starting a business, if you're going to start investing, if you're going to start doing these things, there's a little bit of risk involved, so just factor that in your decision making. LA County area. Dude, he's ready to go in the LA County
Let's
area.
do it in LA County.
You got a good agent there that can help him?
I got somebody sitting in a kayak right now swimming down the LA River.
Boom! It's raining a lot there,
It's
huh?
raining a lot in LA right now.
You got it, Danny. El Oso, I have $5K to put down and a FICO of 756, but still not enough for houses in Indiana. How do you know?
5K, we'd have to look and see if there's any zero down programs for you, but 5K will light you up for $150,000 right now.
Dude, you ready? Call us. Danny, my realtor is telling me there is no extra interest. He's talking about 100% financing, down payment assistance. So your realtor is inaccurate for the most part. Most programs will bump up your interest rate a little bit. Our in-house one's a little different, but not everybody has that. So, but the national platforms, they do give you a higher interest rate. Why? Why do they give you a higher interest rate, Lee?
Because there's a risk in the loan.
What? There's more risk? Matt, are you even licensed in Illinois?
Licensed in all 50 states. We can do business in all 50 states. Used to be we couldn't do business in New York, but that's changed. Recently, we are able to do business in New York.
And
Also,
Hawaii.
we've also opened up some construction lines. We can do construction loans now. We can help, yeah, construction loans.
I love
What? We got people here.
What's up here?
What's up?
What's up, Facebook's peoples?
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We are here for you. 825 score.
Dude, is he ready? Is Danny ready?
Danny might be ready. 825. Let me tell you something. That 825 is very, very big deal. Make sure it's FICO.
Impressive.
Yeah. Make sure it's FICO. If it's FICO, then that is a very, very, very big deal. But don't just believe your bank app or your credit card app or whatever. Not for mortgages anyway. Because mortgages have a special category in the rate pools. There's like 70 of them. It's crazy. Yeah. And we use FICO 5, FICO 8. There's some weird stuff. But the only way you'll actually know your mortgage credit score is to have a licensed loan officer pull your credit.
Dude, and Danny has zero debt. We need to brag about that.
Yep.
825 FICO, zero debt. He's ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ready.
Let's
Brenda
do it.
Rocha. Hi from Iowa.
We love you in Iowa. Love you, love you, love you in Iowa.
Secaucus was interesting. Edgar Arroyo, thank you. It was a dumb mistake. I did, and it won't happen. Expunged until 4 years. Oh, that's the guy that asked about the
Yeah,
license.
expunged means it's gone. Nobody sees it anymore. And yeah, if you're entering real estate, it can be a very rewarding business, but you have to do it correctly. If you do it incorrectly, 95% of realtors fail. You know how we know? Because we work with realtors every year, a brand new set that passes the test and they're ready to go be realtors, and then 3 years later they're gone.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Danny makes $120,000 after taxes too.
If you're 120,000, that's a good question, Danny, because there are income limits in LA. The income limit's about 188,000. So if you're above 188,000, they say you make a little bit too much, but 120, they still help you.
Yeah. Alpha Silo Collection. I made considerably more last year than the prior year. Would that be a huge problem? You made more money than the prior year? Is that a problem?
That's a good problem.
Yeah, beautiful problem.
Yeah, it's a beautiful problem. It means you got to deal with the IRS and we got to file it correctly. But if you're self-employed, it's a different set of guidelines. If you're W-2, it's easy. It's real easy. The new income, I don't even have to average. The new income, whatever it is, I get to use your high watermark of income and just use that. If you're self-employed, then I have something called a 24-month average, a 30-month average, inclining income. There's some certain things, and I might have to write a few LOEs, which is letter of explanation
Good
of
stuff.
why. Yeah, why.
Dude, we need a commercial.
Yep. If you need a badass loan, call Badass Loan Officer. You can reach your badass loan officer at New American Funding. Chris and Lee are your badass loan officers at New American Funding. This will disappear in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. That was special effects.
I try my best. Erwin
Okay.
Tom, can you guys refinance my conventional mortgage, which has a manufactured home on a permanent foundation? I'm
Yep,
assuming.
yep. Well, if it's already a conventional, then it does qualify, and yes, we can.
Right. I bought back in November, and I'm getting free refinance within 6 months. Will rate go down?
Rates are gonna, not me talking, it's Jerome Powell saying that we anticipate interest rate reductions in year 2024. The worst case scenario is 3, the best case scenario is 6. However, there was a lot of people on the stock market that were hoping it would happen in March. After the most recent Fed meeting, which was Monday, the odds went down to like 20%.
What?
Yeah, 20% that they're going to do an interest rate reduction in March. It's looking like May. Chris and I have been saying third quarter. We're actually going to see movement in the market in about third quarter, which is lining up to be pretty right.
On this.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Okay. Ready?
I'm ready.
You got to keep us entertained so I can read it.
Keep him in chain?
Yep.
Should I juggle?
Juggle something. So, we subscribe to some pretty interesting news services, and one of them says, have you heard of the Bank Term Funding Program? The Bank Term Funding Program was an emergency program that allowed banks and credit unions to borrow funds for up to 1 year, pledging U.S. Treasuries as debt collateral. So, this expires March 11th, 1 month away. Wait, what? What?
Wow.
So, the BTFP emergency loan program that allowed funds to borrow for 1 year. How much did they borrow? Well, in 2023, somewhere in the neighborhood of $600 billion. Wait, what? $600 billion. Now, what does that mean?
That's a lot
In
of money.
March, the banks are going to go, hey, you know that $600 billion that I borrowed because the market was going to get better? Oh shit, I can't make my payment. And then what happens? That's when things get wonky. Because if you haven't seen, there's been some big banks collapsing lately. Big banks. Even, not in just America, across the world. Evergrande, if you know who Evergrande is this gigantic, unbelievably big bank in China that recently took a dirt nap. And that's a mafia
Night-night?
thing. Yeah, they went night-night. You want to go night-night? You want to go night-night? Forever. So this is going to affect the mortgages. This is going to affect the banks. This is going to affect a lot of things. And when I look at it, I say, God, I hope we fix this, because if not, we're going to be in too big to fail again, and the federal government's going to have to step in and bail us out. So could be a problem.
Could be a problem.
Yep.
Big problem. That being said, let me give you some numbers, okay? We're gonna get to your questions, guys. Don't just hang in tight. We'll get to all of them. So we always get the question from people: when's the right time to buy? Is it the right time to buy? Should I buy? People are telling me I shouldn't buy. We get it all, okay? We get it all. Now, the only people that really should be asking those questions, in my opinion, are investors. But they're not asking questions. They're actually doing it. They're in the market. Or people that are interested in getting in the business of real estate, but they're not actually asking questions. They're doing it. So the people, in my opinion, that are asking questions, is it the right time to buy, is a regular consumer. A person that wants a house to put their family in. A person that says, you know what, I'm tired of having neighbors on the walls next to me or hearing them on top of me. It's time to have my own place. Or I just want to paint it any color I want. A lot of different reasons for owning a house. So if you're just a regular consumer, it's always a good time to buy. Now, I know it sounds like a salesman of a person who makes money from people buying and selling houses, but let me give you some facts, okay? And I'm going to put them right in front of you. And for those of you that are on a platform that can't see this, I apologize, but let me share this with you. So in 1980, the median house price was $63,000. in 80. In 85, 82,000. In 95, 130,000. In 2005, 232,000. In 2015, 289,000. And in the third quarter of 2023, 431,000. Okay? So as you can see, real estate has always gone up since 1980. Okay? Always gone up. But what I didn't share with you is that there was two crashes inside of here. One big crash in the 90s and one big crash in the late 2000s. So even with the crashes that people talk about, hey man, there's going to be a crash. Even with the crashes, real estate has still always gone up for the last 43, 45 years. Always. So when it comes to you first-time home buyers that say, is it a good time to buy? As long as you're not investing, trying to flip it, trying to get in and get out, then yes, it is always a good time to buy. Do you disagree with this?
No.
So,
well, here's the thing. This is the part that's important. So, let's say in where I live right now, Riverside, San Bernardino County, the average rent's about $3,000 a month. $3,000 a month. $3,000. Okay, so $3,000, and everybody goes in and they buy. They live in an apartment. They're paying $3,000. $3,000 a month times 12 months is $36,000. $36,000 times 3 years is $100,000. So, if you didn't have a necessary need to live, I wouldn't agree with buy whenever you can. But because you have to live no matter what, you have to pay something for mortgage payment. I would say that if you're renting, if at all possible, jump to owner. If at all possible, jump to owner. If you're living with your parents, this advice doesn't count. If you're living rent free, wait for a while, maybe wait till you're in a. If you have good income, good time to buy. If you don't have good income and you're just struggling, you're just going to barely get out there, you're probably going to set yourself up for failure. Even if I can qualify you, you're going to set yourself up for failure because you don't know how to live yet. But if you're actually making a rent payment right now, if you're leasing an apartment and you're paying $3,000 a month, $3,000 a month times 12 months is $36,000. Times 3 years is $100,000. If you rented for 3 years, you paid $100,000 to somebody already. If you're going to do that, you may as well have equity, appreciation, ownership, tax breaks, and everything else that comes with being a homeowner. So, I agree with what you're saying. Largely, there are some one-offs where you're living rent-free, where it's not a good idea until you're absolutely tuned in and ready to go.
So I actually have a different perspective on that because you're right. If you're struggling, if you're already late on credit cards and car payments, yeah, you're not going to want to move forward. But if you're paying all your debts and you just don't have any money left over at the end of the day,
right,
and you are living with your parents and you don't have a lot of money, but you could qualify for something, I would say get in, move your friend in, move your girlfriend in, boyfriend in, whomever it is, get a roommate so you don't have to have that whole payment on your shoulders, and then figure out how to manage it. Because here's the truth, guys, and we've already seen it in 2020 and 2021, that if you buy now and the rates go down, the values are going to skyrocket. Okay, a year from now, 2 years from now, if you like, this whole mortgage payment thing is stupid. I'm moving back in with my parents. You might accidentally make $100,000 in equity.
Right.
Accidentally, just by owning a house. Not a bad thing to try.
And the underwriters actually have a factor in there called payment shock. And if payment shock is 25% more than what you're used to paying, they put it under a whole different computing system, algorithm, whatever you would call it. But if payment shock, let's say you went from $2,000 a month to $3,000 a month, which is 50% more, they factor payment shock in there, and it actually drops your ability to buy because they understand that you maybe not know what you're getting into. But if you're already making payments to your landlord or your mortgage, apartment, or whatever, and you have the ability to buy, yeah, buy.
Yeah. Brenda Rocha, FICO is 589, slowly going up, but I want to be a homeowner before August.
Let's make it happen.
You need to call us.
Yeah.
You need to call us. You're using FICO 2. I don't know what that is. We use FICO 5 like Lee said.
Yeah.
So call us. Let's pull your credit. Let's get you on the right path. Danny, he has no down payment. We talked about this, Danny. We can get you on a program. You have an 800 score. You have good income. Call us. What's your take on getting a foreclosure home? What's the process like? Zyla97.
Zyla. Everybody who's looking for foreclosures is actually looking for deals. And if you can walk in there and buy it as a deal, it's a great deal. Can you finance it? Probably not. Foreclosures have to go through a market, and it's not so straightforward. But if you're looking for a deal and you can get a foreclosure and you've got $500,000 in cash and you're able just to write a check, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Brenda Rocha, he had a caucuses.
Oh my God! Did you see Nikki Haley? We're talking about Nevada yesterday, and oh my God, Nikki Haley lost. You know who she lost to?
I wonder.
I support no one was a category or a person, if you will. Nikki Haley's lost to I support no one.
I wonder who that is.
I support no one.
Anyone but you?
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy.
I paid my debts to qualify more because I paid my debt. I'm assuming to qualify.
Debt, yeah, debt.
Okay, Danny,
Okay,
good job.
good.
That's
Yeah.
why you know how money. I get it. Didi, which loan is better, FHA or conventional? What's the difference? First time home buyer.
DD, a conventional is more restrictive. When you go to loan officer school, they tell you that it's, 35, 45?
I think, no, it's like 25, 35.
25, 35, yeah, something ridiculously
That's
low.
why everyone says a third of your income.
Yeah, a third of your income. Nobody does a third of their income. I hate to say it, and I wish it was different, but it's tough to get a house. It's tough to get a house.
Anymore.
Now, FHA is mostly better, mostly for two reasons. One, they're more forgiving on a lot of things. A lot more forgiving. The down payment is 3.5% instead of 5%. So you can get 3%, but the MI usually gets pretty high on the 3%, so it's prohibitive. But technically, you can get 3% on conventional, but it's 3.5% on FHA, and it'll allow you to go to 56.99 on the back end, which is the most important thing for most people buying FHA. Because when you start looking, this is what everybody does. They're like, hey, I want my mortgage payment to be less than $2,000 a month. I'm like, okay, cool. I know the process. So I say, yeah, no worries. And they say, okay, how much do I qualify? I'm like, well, right now about maybe $240, $230, yeah, something like that for less than $2,000 a month. And I said, but that's off the $2,000 a month category. You actually qualify for about $450,000, $500,000, but that's going to be $3,000 to $3,500 a month. And I say, but I'm meeting your requirement, less than $2,000 a month, $240. Now they get in the car with the realtor, then they go shopping with the realtor, and they're like, I don't want to live in that one house. That one doesn't suit my name. Some areas it works, but most areas they're like,
that guy's gonna stab me.
And then their partner, usually the wife, goes, hey, you know we qualify for a lot more. Let's go take a look at some of those. And then they walk into a 350 house and they're like, I like this.
That's what I say, woman.
And then like, I like this. And then before you know it, they call me and they say, Haley, what are the numbers on 350? And I just kind of smile and I go, all right, here's what they are on 350.
Why do they call
I
you Haley?
know what's going to happen. I know if I could get into a house for less than $2,000 a month, I would like that too. But I also know what that house is going to buy me and if I'm qualified for more than I do. So FHA is usually better because it increases your buying power significantly.
Why do they call you Haley?
I
They say,
don't know.
Haley.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, Danny. He does credit repair. Now
Danny.
we know.
Cool. All right.
Bo said probably should spell the payment correctly when trying to get advice.
Bo, if you're still
Are
here,
you getting advice?
if you're
Give
still
me.
here, Bo, there's two typos. Find them.
Find him.
Find them. Bo, by the way, we were not getting the retention of people, and I found out the ones that shoot at us, if they find an error, they'll stick around longer. So appreciate you, Bo.
You still there, bud?
Yeah.
Stevia Lopez? I make $62,000 a year, 800 credit, 20 down. How much debt can I? Zero down. Zero down.
Zero down. Zero down is tough, but that 800 FICO buys you a lot of
Oh, zero debt.
zero debt.
62K, zero debt, 800 score, 20 down.
I'd say you start about 380, maybe even more, but there's a lot we have to figure out.
Oh, what are the steps on getting a one-time consultation loan? Said Luda.
Construction loan.
Oh,
Construction loan, not
Said
consultation.
Luda?
Yeah, construction loan.
Said
That's a new one. You take it. You take it.
I don't even know that, Luda. It's new to us. But the truth is, I have an expert on my team. I absolutely do. I can get you in touch with them, so call us.
Step 1, call us. Step 2, we do the rest.
My uncle's 07734.
What's up? What's up?
Finally an uncle, man.
07734.
I'm finally an uncle. You've been an uncle for like 80 years.
80.
I'm new. User 6213. Home builders will only give you incentives if you use their preferred lender. How do we get around this?
Good question. Good question. It's a really good question. So, sometimes you can. Not always. But sometimes you can. But you need a really good agent. If you walked in with no agent, you're probably not getting around it. But if you have a good agent, Your agent's going to say, hey, listen, they have to negotiate on your behalf. And the lender will usually say, hey, listen, we'll give you $10,000 towards closing costs. And you say, hey, cool, how about you just give me $10,000? And they say, okay, cool. Then you say, all right, I want you to apply that to principal reduction after you're in contract. After you're in contract. After. So you get the principal reduction. Then change lenders at that point. That's one way to do it. We fight them heads up, but the builders, you're right. There's a lot of money in a loan. A lot of money. A lot of money. And the builders fight tooth and nail to get every penny of it.
So what Lee's saying is very smart. Some people use that $20,000 or $10,000 for closing costs. They use it for new flooring or whatever. Don't do that. You adjust the price, lock it in the contract, and then call us and we'll get you a better deal. How does a zero balance paid charge off with lots of late payments hurt me getting a mortgage?
You take that.
I think you answered your own question. It hurts you because you have charge offs with lots of lates. So paying it to zero doesn't always help you guys. Doesn't always make your credit better. Doesn't jump it. Here's what I'm going to recommend. If you're something you want to pay or something you think you need to pay or you know you have collections, call us. We'll actually run a simulator on your credit and go, okay, pay this debt because it'll give you the most bang for the buck. Don't pay that one, don't pay that one, pay this one. You might even end up keeping some money in your pocket. So call us. We'll give you the advice. Don't make these decisions on your own. You will get into a home. You answered Steve's question. Can you buy a duplex with FHA?
Good question. Yes, you can. You can buy all the way up to a 4-unit. You must live in one. The biggest one, actually, by guidelines. You must live in the biggest unit. You can rent the other 3, and I can use the rents to qualify you for that program. So technically, you're getting an FHA, but you're also an investor because you have 3 units that you're renting out. Yes, you can. It perfectly fits the guidelines. Let's get you going.
Yeah. So once again, guys, if you guys are interested in getting a home loan or seeing where you stand, go to the link above, click on Apply Now. It'll walk you through the path. If you don't want to do that and you want to talk to us, send us a text message to this number right here, and we'll get back to you as soon as we're done with the live.
So why have rates gone up over the last few days? You want to know why?
Yeah, I want to know why.
Okay, cool. So the uncertainty. When there's uncertainty in the market, the rates go up to accommodate for that uncertainty. The banks have to make their money. If they are certain of where something's going to go, they can certainly dial in their money. But the minute it gets uncertain, they start increasing the spread between the 10-year yield and the mortgage rates. And it gets priced into the market. So as soon as the Fed said, hey, listen, we may not be cutting rates in March. Oh, all of a sudden we're uncertain. And that 100 basis points jumps up to 150. And the way we see it is it changes from 5.25 to 5.375. So that's why rates have gone up. The 10-year yield is still about the same. But the uncertainty in the market makes the spread go higher, which means the interest rates are more expensive. But we do still believe rates are going down dramatically by the end of the year. When that happens, it sounds like it's going to be good for buyers, but it's actually not. It's going to be bad for buyers. Here's why it's going to be bad. Because we have something called pent-up demand. So just say 30,000 a month. 30,000 people every month want to buy a house. 30,000, okay? And this month, the rates are too high. So that 30,000 was not able to buy a house. So they just go in a pile. And then next month, they're not good. They go in a pile. Then they go in a pile. Well, we have about 18 months of pent-up demand right now. 18 months. So as soon as rates go down, and they have started, we've seen applications really start picking up. But as soon as the rates start significantly going down, the first interest rate cut that the Fed makes, there's going to be a frenzy. And as soon as that frenzy starts, all the people are going, hey, I got to get in now. So all of a sudden, this bunch of buyers flood the market. Once they flood the market, that house on the market for $500,000 that used to get 1 offer every 30 days, now all of a sudden has 9 offers. Those 9 offers, and then the realtors are smart. They're like, hey, what's your highest and best? Well, we got 2 at asking. Well, what if I came in 5,000 over asking? Well, I'll present the offer. That happens, and then now all of a sudden, 5,000 over is the new market because all this pent-up demand is in. Well, then the other 8 borrowers that didn't get it, they're like, Lee, I keep offering and I'm not getting accepted. Yeah, because the market has changed and it is now a seller's market. That's going to happen. There's no question about it. It's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball, so I might be wrong. But everything, all the indicators say that it's going to happen. And when that happens, when all the pent-up demand starts coming in, prices start going up. YSP, yield spread.
What's your YSP?
Yeah, did you Google YSP? No. When you talk about YSP, I think you're talking about yield spread. Pete, if you're talking about yield spread, you're a loan officer. Nobody knows what that means. We're direct lenders. Because we're a direct lender, we have a set rate. The yield spread is usually the difference between the yield and the spread.
The spread's between.
The yield and the price. The yield and the price. So that's a yield spread. Yeah, that's like stock talk, loan officer talk. Are you able to buy down your interest rate when you buy? Yeah, you can, Mario G. You can always buy your interest rate down. Every loan officer should tell you that unless you go with the zero down program. Some zero down programs are set. If you went to platinum, it's set. Because why? You need money to buy that down. And if you're going zero down, well, you don't have that money. So, yes. Yes.
Be the right time to refinance? Ask Marcaranda.
If you ask me right now, I would say the end of the year is probably a better time to refinance. But we have to see what I think you're dead. We have to see what the Fed is going to think for 2025. Based off of all the meetings, we actually anticipate 2024, the third quarter of 24, to start screaming in the real estate business. Like screaming. Like mortgages are being funded, houses are being sold, all realtors are buying Benzes again, loan officers are buying yachts, that kind of stuff to happen at the end of 24. But that's just the beginning of it. In 25, we expect to have the biggest boom we've ever had. So what that means is rates will continue to go down. Interest rates will continue to go down. And then this is a cycle. And then, God, I hope the Fed has control over this. Because if they don't, we're going to see the biggest economic crash in the history of the United States. There's a lot of people predicting that. Jamie Dimon, oh my God, if you listen to what he says, Jamie Dimon is a very, very powerful finance guy. Very powerful finance guy. And he's predicting some pretty bad stuff. Ray Dalio, oh my God, predicting some pretty bad stuff. So anyway, aside from it, end of the year, end of 24, we anticipate rates to start screaming. Third quarter is when we think all this is happening. We're in the middle of first quarter now. Mid of February. First quarter is January, February, March. Second quarter, April, May, June. Third quarter, July, August, September. Yeah, it's a lot, right? Cool.
When you buy a home with an FHA loan, when are you allowed to sell it again? I'll answer it.
Go ahead.
Whenever you want.
Yeah, you can sell it the next day. Yeah, the next day.
Now, FHA does have a guideline that if you're going to refinance, that you have to hold it for at least 6 payments. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to sell your house, they're not going to stop you from selling it. You just sell it, pay back the loan, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Danny, thinking of getting my real estate license to save money on buying a home. Thoughts?
Don't do it. It's not smart. It's not smart. Listen, I'm a lender and I have a real estate license. Both. I'm a lender, I have a loan officer's license, and a real estate license. And a stockbroker's license, and a whole bunch of other licenses.
Nail tech?
Like nail tech license. I have a whole bunch of licenses. I pay a realtor. What? Yes, I pay a realtor. I pay him full commission too. And here's why. When a realtor walks through a house, they look at way different stuff. This is just the first brushstroke. They look at the roof and they'll go into 5 rooms and they'll go, hey, the roof in that room's whiter than the roof everybody else. You're like, yeah, that's very nice, good. It's nice. We have a whiter roof. No, that means they had a roof leak and they had to repair it and they don't want you to know about it. So they painted over it, but they didn't match the color good enough. What? Oh, shoot, roof leak. That could be a problem. Oh, yeah, by the way, did you see that crack in the sidewalk? Concrete always cracks. No, that's a foundation shift. We need a foundation. There's some things that realtors look at that we don't. That's just the physical stuff. Then they go to the contracts. And the contracts like even if you have a dumb realtor, in California, the California Association of Realtors builds the contract. So all of the stuff is built in. As long as you have a realtor, they don't even have to be that smart because CAR is already accommodated for all the idiocy that some realtors have. So to try and save some money by being your own realtor is like, hey, you know what? I'm being charged with murder. I'm going to be my own attorney. Let's go ahead and do this. Your Honor, I'm innocent. End of case. Dismissed. No, doesn't work like that. I'd highly recommend you don't do it. And even if you're a realtor, you're better off stepping out, and unless you're an investor, you're better off stepping back and letting another realtor who's in that market deal with it. Because your answer is going to be, hey, I'll apply the commission. That's which realtors do all the time. And the truth is you're not really looking at things the right way. It's kind of like if you're a surgeon, should you operate on your son? No! You're too emotionally invested. No way! But I'm the best surgeon in the world. Yeah, and you'll try and do extra good and mess up. Yeah, so don't. If you're a lawyer, should you represent yourself? No! Stupid!
Are you selling realtors or something?
No, I just think realtors are important. I think they get a bad rap a lot of times, but I do realize how they're very. I bag on them all the time. Yeah, most of the realtors.
I'm over here defending you guys.
Most realtors are. Yeah, most realtors are very unskilled and inexperienced, and they got in it for the wrong reason.
Yeah, they got into it because they saw their friend make a couple $100,000.
Or they're a pretty girl.
I'm smarter than
They're a pretty girl. Yeah.
She don't even know how to put on her makeup.
Men want to talk to me all the time. I'm gonna be a great realtor. Yeah.
I'm a people person. No, you're a woman.
Yep. Damn, you're about to get us banned.
Did you just say that?
You're gonna get us banned.
Dude,
Dude, you're gonna get us banned.
Oh, man.
Okay, cool.
Do you save on a mortgage loan terms by raising your score from 660 to 700?
A lot. 660 to 700 is that's a big savings right there. Yes, it will literally save you probably 20, 30, 50, could be $100,000.
Brenda Rocha, my boyfriend is getting his I-10 and I'm thinking of using his income to help. Any thoughts?
So I-10 is a loan in and of itself. It's a special loan. If we do I-10, we have to do the whole loan I-10. If we don't do I-10, we can go FHA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, conventional. So think about that, because I-10 is a different loan. 20% down, 20% down. Sometimes 15, but rare.
Yeah, you can do that too. 580 credit would I qualify for a home loan? I have a home on FHA already for 7 years.
580 is going to be a problem. 580 is going to be a problem, especially if you already own a home. Yeah, if you already own an FHA loan, I'm going to say no because you have an FHA loan.
Unless you're willing to put 20% down or more.
Yeah.
Good non-traditional, but you're not going Fannie or Freddie. Do I have to put divorce? I've been divorced for 8 years. Do I have to put divorce on my loan? That thing's going to follow you forever. Yes, you have to let the world know that you've been divorced.
Yep.
Because when people get divorced, sometimes there's child support, sometimes there's alimony for life. So yes, you decide to get married at 18 years old, and now you're 50, 60 years old. Yeah, you might have to call that person and say, hey, what's up? Can I have those documents?
Let's try to get a DPA that said the rate was 7.5%. That's normal. That's not that far off of, yeah, that's about normal. Yeah. Yeah.
I approve this message.
Somebody says get the license. You can get the license. You can get the education. Get the license. Doesn't hurt you.
Why pay the fee? 20 to 30, 50 could be 100. Really now? Huh?
All right. I don't know.
All right. I'm out of here, dude.
All right, cool. You know what? We've been Chris and Lee. We appreciate you guys. We will be back helping you get a home in 2024.
Fireworks, man. They give us fireworks.